It is a brand new edition, a Monday edition of Flyers Daily. Flyers Daily, as always, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. It's also a Monday edition, which means it's Mondays with Meltzer as we look back at the week that was, the week that's coming, and a lot of other ancillary topics on the menu for tonight. Bill, how you doing?
Doing great. Wishing everybody Thanksgiving. So it'll be afterwards next time word with you. So hope everyone has a great week. Travel safely and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it should be a fun week of hockey as well. Monday, Wednesday, Friday week, which is a rarity indeed. Of course, a couple of ceremonies in the last game. I was obviously involved in one of them, and then the Burning Perrant ceremony on Saturday. First, I just want to give stick taps to the Flyers content team because very well done, very fitting celebration for a great man.
Bernie was, I had fun putting together the 30 things about Bernie. Number 1 was easy. Number 30 was easy. But, there was so much to choose from in between. It actually came together very fast. And then, we did one on Bernie by the numbers as a goalie, and then the other one on Bernie the man, and everything, the speeches, the video presentations, all of it was just really, really tastefully done and, very, very fitting.
Yeah, I thought it was a tremendous ceremony. I always wonder about a team, how they're going to come out after, kind of getting out of their usual, preparedness window and that kind of thing. But they end up winning both of the games. And Bill, where I want to start is right here, because after the game, for the radio interview, the walk-off radio interview on Saturday, we had Dan Vlader on the post-game show. And Dan said that the Flyers made some changes. He said, I won't say what it was, but we made some changes, and they seemed to really work in the game. And as I was sitting in the press box in the first period watching the game, I think I spotted them, and I spotted a little bit in a prior game, but it looked to me like they changed their forecheck from a 1-2-2 to a 2-1-2.
They went more 2-1-2 to get a little bit more forecheck up ice. You are sacrificing a little bit in terms of the neutral zone. They beat the two forecheckers up front, that it's easier to get. But on the flip side is they've been producing chances and scoring a little bit more too. So you have to find that balance in there a little bit more. But it's one thing under John Tortorella, they had the 2-1-2 up ice and then the 1-2-2 in the neutral zone. Yep. Flyers had been going 1-2-2 even the offensive zone. So that's really kind of the adjustment, getting that F2 up on the play a little bit more.
Yeah, and I knew my eyes weren't deceiving me when in the second period I was watching in the Zamboni tunnel right by where Jake Allen was, and I watched him several times hang on to pucks that he stopped behind the net and not know where to go. Because of the 2-1-2. A goal, like Brian Smith asked me, will a goalie know what forecheck a team runs? And I said, absolutely. Because especially when it comes to that playing a puck, they want to know, are they attacking with one forward? Or are they attacking and trying to take away the behind the net pass? And the Flyers did it, and it befuddled him. It almost cost him a couple of times in the game. Yeah. So it really stuck out. It's much more aggressive. But the Flyers, Bill, are a team that is second in the NHL in defending off the rush. And when a 2-1-2 gets beat, that's what it is. It's a rush chance the other way. Yes. But with them being so good at it, they can take that risk.
Yeah, definitely. I said it adds a little bit more. And so you will see more rushes against that way. You'll get beaten more times, but if your forecheck is effective enough, you also get a lot more scoring chances of your own. And the other thing too that I particularly noticed in the Devils game was one thing the Flyers really wanted to kind of get back to was their transition game, because it had been a strength and they hadn't generated very much in transition so far this year. The Devils game transition was a big part of it. Obviously the Michkov goal, and then later on that Zegras goal too. It's striking a balance, right? So
Bill, the other part of that is it's a more fun brand of hockey to watch. You're forcing things. It's a little bit of trading chances both ways too. Yes. And it certainly seemed to work against the Devils. Are a good team. And I know they're without Jack Hughes, their top player, but that's a good team, and the Flyers really threw it at them. What'd you think of the historical night that it turned into with 3 goals in 29 seconds?
3 goals in 29 seconds. Yeah, it's a new franchise record.
By 9 seconds, mind
yeah,
you.
yeah. When you're writing the post game 4, though, you're describing the last goal, and then there's another one, and you're catching up the second one. There's already a third one scored. Well, actually, because they scored 4 goals in just over 3 minutes, so it was like, okay, let's we'll get caught up at intermission here. But that's pretty cool to see. That's obviously that's kind of happened most nights, but that was really, really cool, and that was when that was really the game right there, right? Because the Devils made a few runs at them, but they never got closer than 2 after that. So that was really that was really it right there. That was pretty fun to watch, right? And also
the building lit up like a
the building went nuts, and and Michkov needed that goal, and Frank got a little bit of a mini slump going into the game, so he needed that mentally too. And it was just it just hit all the right notes in terms of what the doctor ordered for the team going into that. So,
and it's crazy, they win the game kind of going away. Zegras gets the one at the end, which was an absolutely disgusting shot.
Yeah.
I mean, the twitch, and to get that off the way he did, I mean, you are just cooked as a goalie. Yeah. I watched it like 20 times, and I'm just like, oh my, the release.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he can make plays, and we've seen good board work from him this week in the St. Louis game.
Yes. Well, he had an assist this week where he made 2 moves along the wall, the elusiveness that he has.
With 2 guys on him,
on him, and once he got that puck down low, I mean, that really, that's why sometimes it's a secondary assist, but that was really that goal doesn't happen without that assist. It really is a play-by-play thing. Sometimes even it's an initial play where a guy doesn't even get an assist because there's a couple touches between then. But no, that was just pure filth. It was, he's an unbelievably skilled player. I'm having so much fun watching him play. Honestly,
I am too. My eyes are just they find him all the time because watching him along the glass and how quick he assesses plays and distributes pucks in places that I don't think you have any shot at getting them to, and he just consistently does it. I think he's so much more of a refined player than I thought he was.
Yeah, I agree.
Bill, is this a thing where this is the second chance and he is just taking every element of the game? I don't know if he did some of this stuff, and I know he's a dynamic player there, but this is a complete player. Yeah. He is way more than I thought he was.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I go back to Cronin saying last year that he was their most improved player, but the numbers didn't show it.
Yeah.
And only saw a handful of Anaheim games last year, so but it was interesting because he and Cronin had kind of an up and down player coach relationship, but Cronin was actually praised him a lot last year. And you're watching him play here, obviously the offense is eye popping, but just a lot of the details of the game.
Yeah.
That he's playing great hockey. So that's something that he keeps up for a whole year. Beyond that, I mean, honestly, we talked. I think it was last time about when do you extend him, right?
Yeah.
If he keeps this up by midseason.
Yeah.
So
I see no signs of it letting up. He's so bought in here. Like, we kind of you see him at practice and in the locker room, the way he corresponds with his teammates. He is fitting in so beautifully. And the thing is with him too, like he's one of those guys that's worth the price of admission. He is so dynamic of a player, and the board work, like I wasn't expecting.
No, I agree.
Not at all. I mean, in that same game, in the Devil game, or different game, actually, that was in the St. Louis game where he gets the puck to Tippett, who gets the obbles to get him on the board. But in the Devils game, Couturier had a similar play setting up Brink. Great board work and shielding the puck from multiple defenders. One of them being Nico Hischier, who's a pretty damn good defender.
Really, really good two-way player. I thought that Couturier had that early turnover on the PK that ended up in the net. Yeah, and after that, I thought Couturier was a man possessed the rest of the game.
Yeah, he tried to get that cleared and ended up hitting, I think, Hishier's skate.
Yeah. And and then also an unlucky bounce how it went in the net too.
Yeah.
But but still, you have that opportunity to clear. You don't get it out. Ended up in your net. And
what do you do after it?
Yeah, exactly right. Like that shift is over. What do you do the next shift? And that's really
well, his next shift he gets the breakaway to Michkov.
You got the breakaway assist to Michkov,
yeah.
right? Which was a gorgeous lead pass, set him off. 5-hole goal and all that. So yeah, and I thought it was one of his best board battle games maybe all year, honestly.
Yeah.
So
when we talk about board battles too, Bill, we tend to think a lot about a guy like Tyson Foerster.
Yeah.
Because he's excellent in board battles, really heavy on his stick. He's seemingly always on the right side of the puck. I saw something last week that I'm not sure who put it out, but there's Selke consideration at the quarter point in the season for what he's done. First of all, rare for a winger. I think the last one to win it, maybe Mark Stone as a winger.
Yeah.
But he's been that good in all zones. And then you see in the last two games, last game he had 2 goals, and the game before that he had the huge goal on the assist from Emil Andrae. But Tyson Foerster getting that shot off. The first one he scores against Jake Allen is an absolute bomb, too, after Case has a beautiful backhand sauce pass to him. I mean, he's looking like he's become the complete player now.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with Foerster, his feet are always pointed the right way.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not fast, but he gets there because he's pointing
exactly. That's a big part of how he adjusted.
Yep.
And that's something that other players can emulate too. Don't often talk about how players' feet are pointed, but coaches emphasize that, right? But that's something that players adjust and adapt to as they go along, like consistently, shift after shift after shift.
Yep.
And the other thing he does too that doesn't require speed, but he keeps his feet moving.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that's such a because it doesn't matter how big and strong you are if you're a stationary target.
Yeah,
he protects the puck so well, and he'll dig him out off the boards too, and make a play happen with it too.
Yeah.
Really in any zone. I mean, if he does get some Selke consideration, it's hard earned because he's really playing very, very good hockey.
And the thing is with him too, he's gotten to a very key point for NHL players where your best game doesn't look a whole heck of a lot different than your worst game.
Yeah.
They're very close to each other, so a predictable player. And I mean, even if he's not scoring, he's an absolute net positive player because he plays in all zones, and that's something that they love.
I mean, that's something that Talk has mentioned. You've mentioned as well. I don't know if you want to expand on a little bit, but where that predictability in a good way factor. Mm-hmm. There's not so much difference between his A game and what because he always pretty much plays the same way. But I mean, how important is that in terms of team identity too? That the team consistently plays the right way, and the guys that emulate that for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge stress off a coach that I can rely on this going into pretty much every game. That whether it's a night where he piles up 2 like he did against the Devils, or he gets none, he's not going to hurt you in any way. Yeah. He's become a really smart player, and I think much better than I thought he could be. Because I was worried about the ability to get there with the skating, especially the explosiveness of the first step. But the fact that he doesn't put himself in stop and starts, keeps the mass moving, and knows where he reads the game very well.
Yeah, and really that is a lesson too. When guys come into the league, you hear his skating is a real concern, right? And sometimes it proves accurate. But so much of it is getting from point A to B. Your hockey sense. Yep. And players can adapt that, right? You can develop you can develop quickness. If you're not naturally fast, you're never going to be naturally fast. But you can compensate for it in other ways. And so when I looked at Porter Martone, for example. Coming into the draft, they go, well, what's the concern with him? Oh, it's his skating, right? His skating is just average. Just average is fine. If you have the other parts of it,
He does.
I think Martone is going to be a tremendous NHL. You just watch him right at 19 years old, just in his first year of collegiate hockey. I think that, you don't ever want to jump the gun, right? But that looks like a home run kind of pick because he has all the makings of a star. Right?
And he's so built for the NHL. He's mean.
Already has the competitiveness, all those things. So the Flyers have a very good base of wingers, young guys already in the NHL and guys coming up. So,
Bill, is he kind of Porter Martone, kind of leading that Hobie Baker right now, Chase? He's been unbelievable for a really good team.
Yeah, it's a shame they lost the game on Friday against Wisconsin. But Martone was a monster in that game. He was, not just the points in that game, but just we were talking about board battles. You could not take the puck off of him.
He's a man. He's like a man, and he's playing against a lot of guys that are older.
They're also physically mature.
That's hurt McKenna, frankly. With Penn State.
For sure. I'm still sure he's going to be a tremendous player.
Yep.
But he's not as he's not as mature as some of those other guys. Whereas in junior hockey, you can get away with more things, and particularly when you have that skill level that guy like McKenna has, where you can cheat a little bit more. You can
skillfully dominate.
Skillfully. Well, you can do things. We were talking about keeping your feet moving, right? One habit that a lot of really skilled junior players get into is they can just sauce a puck over somebody's stick from a standstill position just because they can think ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
When you're in the pro level, unless you're Wayne Gretzky, you can't do that from a standstill. So, that's just one of those things that a junior player can do. But when you're playing against older, mature players, then you get into the pros, that's one of the things you have to adjust to.
Bill, what have you thought of Emil Andrae? Because he's gotten bumped up to a pairing with Jamie Drysdale. All of a sudden, size doesn't matter. I think he's played excellent. And I'm not just talking about the offensive part. I think he's defended.
His defensive stick is really quick, right? He breaks up a lot of plays in there. And, and just in terms of, making the first pass, it was something that, and it'll be an article coming up on the Flyers site too. One point that Talk has made is that if you need more than 2 passes to get out of your zone, you're in trouble.
Yep.
And that's why that first pass is so critical. And Andrae just makes that really good first pass over and over and over again, to the point where, at least right now, he might be the best guy in the team at making that first pass.
Yeah.
So, quick defensive stick, jumping into the plays up ice with a lot of confidence. He earned that promotion up to the second pairing, and he's playing terrific hockey. So that's it's been great to see.
That pairing wouldn't work though if Jamie Drysdale wasn't defending better, but he is.
But he's defending a lot better, and and how well he's using his feet to skate out of jail when he has to too.
Yeah, he's been really good. He had a great save in the game too, in that third period. Let's go to the guy who had the majority of those great saves. I thought that perhaps the game against New Jersey was Vladar's best, even though he gave up 3. I thought he competed his rear end off, and I like the way he plays because he lets the play that's happening around him dictate what he's going to do. He doesn't overplay anything.
Yeah.
And these in tight saves that he's now made in overtime against St. Louis, we've seen it a number of times in games before that. He made another one on the right side of the net in that third period against New Jersey. His anticipatory skills to read the play to be able to get over for those has been off the charts.
Oh yeah, well, his that save percentage on high danger chances is
leads the league, 885.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there's a piece of that where you credit the team in front of him because he's able just to, by processing, okay, this is where the attack is going to come from.
Yeah.
So even if it's a high danger attack, he can get over there. Part of that is because they have, for the most part, really they've eliminated a lot of those backdoor plays, so he doesn't so much have to worry about getting over to the other side. He can focus on half of the net. So that's been a big part of it. But these are still really difficult saves that he's making, and he's making them routinely. There was that sequence that unfortunately it ended up as Timo Meyer's power play goal. But I mean, he was making incredible saves. My gosh, like 4 of them, right, or three of them,
the only one that got him, it comes off the end boards, but he even makes the initial one there.
The initial one there, yeah. That was that was just about as really good a goaltending as you're going to see, and obviously he's been a huge part of that. The team in front of him is able to play with a lot of confidence, right? I mean, we talk all the time, but you can't really separate the two things. Well, he is providing the team in front of him a lot of confidence. Particularly,
Me too.
I think everybody watching the team feels like he's going to make the save.
Yeah.
And even like in the previous game, if he lets in one that it's one that he should have stopped, comes from some distance, has seemingly a clear line of sight on it, but it gets it anyway. One doesn't become two. It doesn't snowball. I mean, we honored Bernie Perrant this week, and one thing that Bernie told the Flyers goalies that he coached, and remember that he coached 3 Vezina finalists in a row, 2 he said that with a lot of goalies, it's not the first goal you give up; it's the next one. How tough you make the next one to score, and that's what Vadar's been doing. You might get him once, but that second one's going to be even tougher than the first one was. So,
yeah, he's done a really good job. And somebody had shot me a tweet and said, when is it that we kind of anoint him as the number 1? I said a week ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taken the job at least for now.
Yeah, no, he has not. You're now you're going to have a situation. 4 games in 6 nights.
Yep.
So that Urson will get a game in there, and hopefully Urs kind of figures things out. What's been so strange, Jason, has been that he's been so good in shootouts.
Mm-hmm.
But his last couple starts before that, there were I think you said it, that he just was hoping to get hit by the puck because he wasn't tracking anything. I mean, so he has to get straightened out. His history has been that when he comes back from injuries, in particularly, it takes him a while to get back to form, and then he could be fine for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and then he's been so streaky in his career. Besides the injury prone and whatever, he's a good goaltender. But right now, there's no question who your number 1 goalie is.
Yeah, you can't deny it.
Yeah, so he'll get his starts when you have a back-to-back or whatever, but usually you try to anticipate what the workload will be during the week.
Yep.
My thought process is if there's a day between the games, you're going to go with him again. You're going to go with Vadar again.
Yeah, I guess you have the back-to-back on. Is it Friday Saturday? Yeah. So you'll see how that kind of shapes up for this week. But yeah, I mean, you look at it and go 3 out of 4 for Vadar. And that's pending obviously workload and exertion levels, but we'll see. The thing with Vadar that he's done so well too, I like the way he looks around traffic.
Yes.
And screens. He does a really good job. He can use his height or he can look around.
Right. And if you remember, that was an issue for Fedotov last year. As big as he was, looking around a screen was a problem for him. And
lifting too much.
And you could see with Vadar that he's just eating those up.
He's better technically too, like just technical movements and efficiency of movement than I thought he would be also. Bill, what do we do with Krabenkin here? You got to send him down at this point. I mean, if he's just going to get in the lineup every once in a while and only play 9 or 11 minutes, this guy needs to play 18, 20 minutes right now. Why hasn't he been sent down yet?
I'm sure it's an internal discussion, and I mean, he wants to play, but if you go down, you don't want to lose the player either. There's an NHL player that's in there. Where do you slot him in the lineup is one thing you're figuring out. And it's going to be the same thing to figure out, particularly because Alex Bump is really heating up down there. He's really making a case to get called up. But
to where?
but where? That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
If you call him up, where's the spot for him? Because if you put him in the fourth line, you're not putting him in position to succeed.
No, you keep him down there in that case.
And right, so do you wait for an injury? Do you and same thing with Grebenka too a little bit. If you're playing him in the fourth line, that's adapting to a different role.
Mm-hmm.
And if you send him down to, he's not going to play the fourth line down there.
No.
Now, and it's not going to be a situation like where Scotty Lawton was sent down and put in a checking line there, specifically with the idea that when you would call him back up, it would be in the role that he ultimately played with the team.
Yeah.
But with Grebenka, if he goes down, he will be in the top 9, maybe even the top 6 a lot of nights. So is that really conducive to calling him back up? And if he's playing the fourth line again, are you? So I think all those things kind of weigh into it.
Yeah.
There is value in practicing with the big team, and we've seen flashes of it. So I think all those things are things that weigh into the discussion. But ultimately, and see if you agree, he needs to be playing more than anything else. It comes down to that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And look, this is something Danny Briere's got to look at. He's got so much wing coming.
Yeah,
like it's an all-you-can-eat wings buffet here. Exactly. I mean,
Barkey's another one.
Bill, I was just going to ask you because the chemistry that him and Bump have has been remarkable.
They've been
they've been tearing it up.
They just read off each other beautifully.
Oh,
yeah.
So. When you look at this and Martone coming as a winger, you've got to make room.
Yeah.
In some way. So, you're going to have to trade something at some point, and it's got to be a winger. And what you get in return can't be a winger.
Right. It needs to be a defenseman or a center. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to package some wingers and get a guy like Quinn Hughes. Yeah.
Well, that comes. We've talked before about trading from strength, right? And now when you have an abundance of really good players on the wing, or you could. That's how how do you meet your needs?
Yeah.
That's also why you draft best available too.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at Quinn Hughes and this whole. I've been seeing what's going on out there. They're saying better to trade him this year if he's not going to commit.
Because if he's not going to, and. Yeah, whether he ends up with his brothers or somewhere else.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. But I do see him ending up,
in this area
and probably in the metro. So
yeah. Look at it. And, he played for Tocchet. He loved playing for Rick Tocchet.
Yeah.
Do you make a deal where you maybe you overpay? You're giving up 2 firsts, a couple of players, and a prospect. But Frank, that's the only way you're getting a guy like that.
Yes.
And even with him not extended, I don't even worry about that now. If I got him for a year and a half, I'm going to extend him.
Yes. Yeah.
He going to get paid.
That's something you take. Oh, absolutely. He's going to get paid, deserves to get paid. That would be that dynamic offensive defenseman the Flyers really, maybe one of Ghost's early season.
Yeah.
Flyers have
65-point year. This guy's a point per game player.
Yeah. No, that adds a whole other dimension. That opens things up for your forwards because you have to be hyper aware of where he is at all times. It's like when Erik Karlsson was at his best.
Yeah.
He dictated.
Quinn defends better than Erik Karlsson did.
Yes. Well, that's.
Then again, I do too.
I was going to say that's it was a little bit with Erik Karlsson was a little bit the Paul Coffey effect. It's like you're just going to live with it because he gave you so much offense. But
I'll tell you what, this Barkey too has been. He's been fun to watch. I just think this kid's a winner, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The compete level, the speed, he's just fun to watch in the PK. Honestly,
he's just he's so likable. You just can't. I can't envision anybody going, "Oh, I don't like Barkey." He's probably been that way his whole life. It's just people like rooting for the kid.
Yeah.
This week, Flyers will be in Tampa coming up tonight to take on the Lightning. Florida coming up on Wednesday. Black Friday game on the road this year on the island against the Islanders. And then Saturday, I'm sure the Devils have it circled after that game just a couple days ago where the Flyers beat them 6-3. The Devils on Saturday. So busy week of hockey coming up, and we'll see how it plays out. But it's going to be a lot of fun this week. Holidays as well. Bill, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
You too.
Enjoy the hockey this week as the Flyers. I mean, it's a remarkable. They played like the least amount of games in the league, but they have. I think they have the fourth highest points percentage in the Eastern Conference.
That's the dichotomy there, right? Oh, well, they're not winning many in regulation, but they're winning. So now we'll see what happens because they played a big chunk of the home schedule. They're on the road this whole week, and absolutely circle that Devils game next Saturday because the Devils have been just really not that good on the road, but they've been almost unbeatable at home. So
6-0-1 or 7-0-1 at home this year. Yeah, they've been a whole different team there. We've seen that with a couple of teams this year, although for the Rangers, it's kind of been the opposite. Good on the road, stink at home. But read Bill's work at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com, NHL.com, and HockeyHotStove.com. And Bill, join us again next week. But we'll be back tomorrow. We'll recap Flyers Lightning on a brand new episode of Flyers Daily.